This is the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Small Business Update with Tom Sullivan, exclusively on ASBN.com.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for tuning in to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Small Business Update, exclusively at ASBN.com and now streaming on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Small Business Saturday is coming up soon. It's a day to celebrate and support small businesses and all they do for their communities, which is a lot, as you know. Joining us now to share more on this topic is Tom Sullivan, who is the Vice President of Small Business Policy at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Tom, thank you so much for joining us on the show once again.
Thank you, Jim. It's a great time to be with you. We've just got to get that energy up for people to spend at small businesses on November 25th.
That's right. That's right. And to support your local small business owners in the community and, the job that you're helping may be your own, because so many people work in small businesses. Big business gets so much attention out there each day, but at the end of the day, it's really small businesses that keep this country going, right?
Well, this is my opportunity to be a bobblehead, Jim. I'm just agreeing with everything that you're saying. And you're right. It's not just about supporting small business. It's about supporting your community.
Yeah.
And you probably know this, Jim, but let's let everybody know this. On Small Business Saturday, when you spend money at a small business, about 48 cents of every dollar stays in the community. And that's compared to about 14 cents for every dollar if you shop at large chains. So it's about small business, of course. It's also about supporting your local communities.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that makes a very, very big difference. And what's the overall economic impact of supporting small businesses during the holidays and Small Business Saturday?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. And Jim, from our work together, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce surveys small business every quarter. Mm-hmm. And what we're finding is that things are pretty good for small businesses right now. Mm-hmm. when they look at their own operations, their own balance sheets. When they think about the national economy, they go a little bit negative. But getting to your question about what is the impact, Intuit QuickBooks study showed that 65% of small businesses rely on holiday sales to kind of put them over into the profit column for the year. So
wow.
It's really important for small businesses. And now is the time of the year to dig deep into that pocketbook on November 25th and spend at small business.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And what we hear too, we've done a number of kind of man on the street interviews or person on the street interviews during this particular holiday. And a lot of people said that it was this particular event that brought them out to Main Street or down to their local businesses. And oftentimes they'll say they never knew those businesses existed before, and now they're always going to be shopping there. So I think it's also the introduction in many cases to the community for some of these shoppers that become engaged with these small business owners on Main Street, right?
Oh, I think you're right. The community feel as you're approaching the holidays it's always a wonderful time of the year, but those interactions between small business owners and their customers is really another part of what makes Small Business Saturday so special.
That's right. So tell me, how can small businesses get involved?
Well, first of all, small businesses are shoppers themselves, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, they're members of our communities.
Yeah, that's right.
They're leaders. So in between waking up and going to sleep, if you could put the closed for a few minutes sign on the door and shop at another small business, that would be okay too.
That's right.
But I think looking to maximize sales on small business is something that we hear a lot from not only our members, but our local chambers who are supporting small business owners. And we have a website that is devoted specifically to answering those questions. It's called Co. We've talked about this before. It's our small business digital platform. Anyone can log on to growwithco.com. Okay. We have all sorts of resources on how to maximize sales on Small Business Saturday. The top question we receive is, how do I get on American Express's Small Business Saturday map?
Yeah.
And we lead viewers right through the process on how to get on the map. So we know that from the National Retail Federation that this is going to be a bargain hunters Small Business Saturday.
Okay.
And so we are expecting a lot of small businesses to put sales items out there and promote them, whether they're promoting on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook. We know that promoting those special sales and those bargains for consumers is going to drive a lot of the spend this holiday season.
Yeah, for sure. What other steps should business owners do to prepare for Small Business Saturday, in addition to some of the things you just mentioned?
Well, I would turn that question around a little bit and ask all of our consumers on how to prepare for Small Business Saturday. And the answer is be patient. Because on the one hand, we're expecting 3 to 4% increase in in-person sales, which is fantastic. But on the other hand, we're in the middle of a worker shortage. And so small business owners need that revenue to get into the profit column, but it's going to be a struggle because they don't necessarily have enough staff to keep up with increased demand. So I think I would love to urge patience, not only to myself, I'm working on the patience thing, but also to folks who do take the time to go and shop. To be patient, to be understanding that small businesses are facing a workforce crunch. And on the other hand, they really, really need that revenue to get them over the hump going into the holidays. One last thing, Jim, is, sometimes folks say, oh, I'm caring for a loved one. I can't get out of the house and I'm shopping online. How do I support small businesses online?
Yeah.
And luckily, our partners who do, whether it's Shopify or Amazon and other sales platforms, they do have areas that you could specifically designate to purchase items from a small business owner. And then, of course, many small business owners have their direct sales channels. I love telling the story about Henry's Coffee in San Francisco. During the pandemic, he just put all his resources into online sales channels so that he could distribute coffee all over the world. And that actually is helping the small business owner too. So if you need a little extra caffeine in the morning, look to Henry's Coffee. Great online sales. It's great coffee. Me, I'm caffeinated like this all the time, but some others might need a little bit of coffee to get them going.
Henry's going to love you for that. That's you just told thousands of people where to go for their coffee, so that's great. The reality is that people, to your point, can shop online with their small businesses. Every small business today has got a website. Many of them, probably the vast majority, have an e-commerce element to them.
Yes.
So I think it's a good point that you made, that it doesn't necessarily mean that it's got to be in person if you're doing business with a small business in your community or a small business owner in your community. Just go online and check it out. Buy the goods or services or what have you online and delivered right to your front door, just the way Amazon would handle it, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'll be out there with my dog Skippy. We'll be hitting all the retail stores. I live in a very dog-friendly community, and so they love when the dogs come in and you purchase dog biscuits and other stuff while you're buying holiday gifts. But I'll be doing everything I can to generate business in our local community, and I hope all of your viewers do as well. I just love the opportunity to spread the gospel of how important Small Business Saturday is.
Yeah.
And let's not forget, it's also a lot of fun.
It is. How long has this been going on? I mean, this goes back a number of years, right?
It does. This is the magic 13th year. Started in 2010, and then the following year, the United States Small Business Administration jumped in and said we would like to help promote this, and then ever since then, it's really been a big part of the holiday season. That's fantastic.
So for small business owners and entrepreneurs that are listening, jump in on this. We're going to show all the information here on the screen to take you right to the websites that Tom was just telling you about. But this is an opportunity, and it's right around the corner. So don't wait till the last minute. This is something that you want to participate in, and be represented, be on that map that American Express is offering. So this can be a huge opportunity. If done right, it could be your 13th month of the year, right? Right, Tom?
I hope so.
Yeah.
And Jim, in our next program, I'll be saying Small Business Saturday should be every Saturday, but for now, let's just focus on November 25th.
That's right. That's right. Switching gears a little bit, it looks as though the report just came out that inflation is trending downward. It looks like gas prices are coming down. Some of the economists that I speak to over at Bloomberg Intelligence tell me that 2024 could actually be a pretty good year for small businesses and all businesses for that matter. So have you been hearing the same?
I have been. I'm a little bit cautious to say that everything is rosy and sunny when I talk with small business owners, because they are continually under the gun, trying to keep up with rising prices. And most significantly, a price that doesn't show up in the inflation calculation is the cost of finding, hiring, and keeping your best employees. That's expected to go up. So yes, that's very good news. I think 2024 is going to be a fantastic year for small business, but I'm a little bit cautious about being too rosy and sunny as an economist, realizing that workers are becoming more expensive, and that affects small businesses' bottom line.
That's right. It does. There's no question about it. So Tom Sullivan, Vice President of Small Business Policy at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much for joining us on the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Small Business Update. Very much appreciate it. And I'd love to do a follow-up with you to talk about how the event went, how the Saturday went.
Oh, I'd love that. Jim, thank you, as always, for having me on your show, and get out there and shop small.
That's right. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Small Business Update with Tom Sullivan.